Falling down is not a failure. Failure comes when you stay where you have fallen. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. Sometimes you put walls up not to keep people out, but to see who cares enough to break them down. By all means marry. If you get a good wife, you'll become happy. If you get a bad one, you'll become a philosopher. No one knows whether death may not be the greatest of all blessings for a man, yet men feared as if they knew it was the greatest of evils. My friend, care for your psyche, know thyself, for once we know ourselves, we may learn how to care for ourselves. The hottest love has the coldest end. To fear death, gentlemen, is no other than to think oneself wise when one is not, to think one knows what one does not know. In childhood be modest, in youth temperate, in adulthood just, and in old age prudent. The wise man seeks death all his life, and for this reason death is not terrifying to him. I do nothing but go about persuading you all, old and young alike, not to take thought for your persons or your properties, but and chiefly to care about the greatest improvement of the soul. Be the kind of person that you want people to think you are. Worthless people love only to eat and drink, people of worth eat and drink only to live. Those who are hardest to love need it the most. Get not your friends by bare compliments, but by giving them sensible tokens of your love. Death may be the greatest of all human blessings. I know that I am intelligent, because I know that I know nothing. The greatest blessing granted to mankind come by way of madness, which is a divine gift. He is richest who is content with the least, for content is the wealth of nature. Ordinary people seem not to realize that those who really apply themselves in the right way to philosophy are directly and of their own accord preparing themselves for dying and death. If the whole world depends on today's youth, I can't see the world lasting another 100 years. Be of good cheer about death, and know this of a truth, that no evil can happen to a good man, either in life or after death. The children now love luxury, they have bad manners, contempt for authority, they show disrespect for elders and love chatter in place of exercise. A system of morality which is based on relative emotional values is a mere illusion, a thoroughly vulgar conception which has nothing sound in it and nothing true. Children nowadays are tyrants. They contradict their parents, gobble their food, and tyrannize their teachers. It is not difficult to avoid death, gentlemen of the jury, it is much more difficult to avoid wickedness, for it runs faster than death. Children nowadays are tyrants. They contradict their parents, gobble their food, and tyrannize their teachers. The hour of departure has arrived, and we go our separate ways, I to die, and you to live. Which of these two is better only God knows. The easiest and noblest way is not to be crushing others, but to be improving yourselves. True wisdom comes to each of us when we realize how little we understand about life, ourselves, and the world around us. Remember, what is unbecoming to do is also unbecoming to speak of. Wisdom begins in wonder. There is only one good, knowledge, and one evil, ignorance. When you want wisdom and insight as badly as you want to breathe, it is then you shall have it. When the debate is lost, slander becomes the tool of the loser. Remember that there is nothing stable in human affairs, therefore avoid undue elation in prosperity, or undue depression in adversity. The easiest and noblest way is not to be crushing others, but to be improving yourselves. I cannot teach anybody anything, I can only make them think. Contentment is natural wealth, luxury is artificial poverty. Nothing is so well learned as that which is discovered. Be as you wish to seem. The value of a man is measured in the number of those who stand beside him, not those who follow. Be nicer than necessary to everyone you meet. Everyone is fighting some kind of battle. The envious person grows lean with the fatness of their neighbor. I call myself a peaceful warrior because the battles we fight are on the inside. Employ your time in improving yourself by other men's writings so that you shall come easily by what others have labored hard for. Education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. Every action has its pleasure and its price. The secret of happiness, you see, is not found in seeking more, but in developing the capacity to enjoy less. Call no man unhappy until he is married.